Hello and welcome, y'all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the dev live stream for Dune Awakening that just came out on the 15th of April, so just yesterday. So we're going to take a look at some of the highlights throughout their conversations about the combat. We'll also check out the recent update that we had to the release date and the head start information, so we'll touch base on that as well. So first we'll go ahead and dive into some of the highlights from the live stream. So kick back, relax, get your snacks, and maybe a little bit of coffee, and let's get to it.
It's not combat related, but I think a lot of people are actually... Press D, you can press D.
Press the B key.
And there you go. So
there
you have a
it
toggle
is.
here, so you can actually toggle your helmet on and off.
All right, I want to cut in real quick here just to say, hide helmet, heck yes. Always looking for a hide helmet in a game. Not because necessarily all the helmets are bad, but sometimes you spend so much time in character creation, you just want to show it off. Love this.
That works with
I
all
like
armor.
helmetless in this case.
Me too. Like a lot of players, like, you know, just have like, I don't want to see, I want to see the beautiful face on it.
Healing, melee, disruptor, rifle, scattergun. These all have their uses. I will use them interchangeably in combat. We have a armor kit. This is light armor. This is more focused around dashing and dodging and being more protective against melee attacks. We have our battery pack that fuels two of our primary resources, which is technically they're both pulled from the same pool, the energy pool, which Holtzman shields use. And this is the Holtzman shield, and Holtzman suspense uses also.
When using a gun as your weapon of choice, you do have to be careful with your timing, because while you are firing your gun, your shield is going to disappear. So you have to make sure you're careful with your shots and the timing of your shots, because if somebody is rushing at you with a melee attack, or if they're shooting at you at the same time, you are vulnerable during those times that you are also shooting your weapon. So just timing is a key factor with the combat in this game.
In the game, you start with two abilities, and then when you play the story, you will unlock a third ability at the same time as you unlock the Spice Prescience feature. So this is a very cool, very powerful mode to be in, where you will reduce the cooldowns on all of your abilities by quite a lot. You'll deal a lot more damage from your abilities, from range, from melee. You'll even become immune to poison. And additionally, it will actually trigger what we call capstone skills. So these are special passive skills that you invested in the various skill trees that we have, and they will only be active when you're in this special mode. So a few examples there are the shield overcharge, where you can actually see vulnerabilities in others' shield, and you can focus on those vulnerabilities and take down their shields faster. We have the Bindu dodge, where it appears as if dodge and blade attacks pass through you. Your health will regenerate at an accelerated pace as well. But what's really helpful to get an eye to understand the battlefield is it will highlight enemies. You will see their health, their weapons, their ammunition, and also the type of NPC that you will be dealing with, and it lasts for quite some time as well. It's a very powerful mode to be in, and it looks pretty cool as well.
Especially with ammunition, even though it's just like, oh, it shows ammunition, that's not that important, but it actually shows you when you have an opportunity or window to actually attack. Because yes, exactly, because NPCs have to reload as well. They kind of react very much like players have to as well.
So, we're entering the prescient state. As Vilja said prior, we have increased output of damage, we have reduced cooldowns on our abilities, and more importantly, we have information. And information is ammunition that we can use to succeed.
Yeah, you have to actually see the enemies first, but once you do, you are conscious of where they are.
So, I will actually try to utilize the playstyle of this character build to its optimum. I will float and fight.
I see someone.
No, fight. Please hit. Please hit. No, okay. Melee. Not melee. So here we see our 5 archetypes. And my choice of skills, for me personally, and because of the setup that we're playing, knee charge, compel, and assault seeker. In terms of my techniques, which are actions that function passively, center of mass. We have energy conservation to give me more juice so that I can fight for longer, float for longer, shield for longer. and death from above to give me benefits to my damage output while I'm floating. This is one of the things that is not often evident, because if you crouch your character, you do not generate audio movement events. What that means is that if you can predict which way NPCs will move, you can get much closer to them to do what I essentially did here, which is get the scattergun in a much, much closer position.
Yeah, and this scattergun obviously is better at close range because it scatters a lot of pellets, a lot of darts.
Tactically withdraw.
He didn't.
Heroically running away.
Oof. Okay, I need to... This is the other element. We need to disposition them. Oh, he didn't get through. Oh, this dodging. Please push through. Nice. I need to... I have my abilities.
So we see it's very much about positioning and tactical combat.
2, 3. He staggered, push through. Nice.
And as you saw, the NPC was actually doing a knee charge against you because they have the same abilities as we do. Maybe you can at least imbibe some spice beer so you're ready for it.
Absolutely. Let's see. Let's take before we go any further, let's 1. That'll push our bar upwards, and we have to wait a few ticks for it to get ready. We're not going to trigger it yet. We're going to wait for the go signal before we get spicy.
Although you can do that via food or drinks, but also sometimes it kind of goes up organically.
I mean, if you go to a spice field, you will inhale spice
Yes.
directly.
Push through. Disengage. See if he decides to bubble. No. Another hit. Okay. No. And then
Because-
Yeah, this guy has a minigun, and they're very good at taking down your shield as well.
One of the that was very close.
He
Okay.
was just about to do a suspensor blast, which would incapacitate Alex.
One of the big things that players will experience is that even though, as we listed prior, even though an individual character is quite easy to handle, the second you mismanage space or mismanage resources, it becomes very, very tricky. I need to stop scooting and focus. It becomes very, very tricky to handle the output that everything is throwing, which is why I need to try to focus these guys down quickly. CC in, disengage, reposition.
I jokingly say running away bravely, but like it's really a tactic.
It's a smart tactic sometimes.
You should try to get away from it, regroup, and then go back in with a plan.
The reason I pulled away is because I noticed my stamina, which is why my abilities were not usable. I pulled away to regenerate my stamina, re-heal, to be safe. I could probably have succeeded the fight. I just didn't want to choose to risk my resources because everything in Dune costs time, costs investment. Why risk when you can make things a little bit more successful?
Right, and you might even have lost your shield because
Absolutely.
of the minigun.
Push through.
And I'll mention for the beta players that we're doing a big rework or iteration on stamina. So a lot more things will cost stamina. Stamina won't always regenerate depending on actions that you do. You won't regenerate stamina as you sprint, for instance. We have a few more fixes coming in for this as well, but it will be a much more valuable and an important aspect of combat. And we can see here what's happening now is that he's in withdrawal, so he can't actually consume spice. He needs to wait for that bar to go down, then he can consume spice. However, he will have to consume more spice now than he did in the first round because his tolerance is growing. And this can go up to quite a high level where you'll have to consume a lot of spice in order to go pressure.
With the time, it's lovely.
I do recommend having a shot caller on the team, someone who coordinates, because if everybody just do their own thing, these enemies are not only higher T, they have more health, they're much more aggressive.
Also, can we talk about friendly fire?
Absolutely.
Want to damage to your friends with normal dots, things like that, however, area effects, abilities, and the flamethrower will actually damage your friends. They won't take full damage, but you should be careful.
So everything that kind of does area of effect damage, right, will also kind of damage to your friend.
So things like poison, explosives, flame, when delivered in an AoE, which is also flamethrower, and in a deployable, like you showed me using the sites beforehand, and CC effects like suspensor grenades or reduction grenades are also applied in full. So you really need to manage where you deploy your AoE CCs to not hamper your allies.
Betrayal, if you use a Bene Gesserit skill on your friend, that is just the ultimate betrayal.
The question is, who is the better player?
This is an interesting fight.
This is very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
Oh, it's
Someone
getting
out of
staggered.
stamina.
No, yeah. It's 1v1.
Oh.
Oh,
And then we
it's
saw the new whirlwind.
Yeah.
so close.
Sorted there. Oh, I believe. Oh, the counter's back. Needs to be a little bit more ability use and a little bit better stamina management. Bank your stamina and deploy it in one big burst.
Actually, you don't see the stamina on the other player, even if you're prescient, which is actually really. I think that's. Oh,
Oh, so it, boom.
that's close. It almost got the One of the players is sitting right
some
here,
tension in the
and he
room
just
here.
went like throwing his head back, and his headphones just went flying. It's just like, well done, there, team. Well done.
That can only be one.
This is where we're going to have servers at launch across the world, so people can see. I mean, the one in Australia, it's actually kind of on the East Coast because it's closer to Sydney, and I see that the Australian name is in the wrong place, but that's okay. I don't
It's
expect.
fine. We
I don't
only
expect
talk.
it- no one
We're
in
talking
the
top
Northern
level.
Hemisphere gives a shit
It's
about my
fine.
country.
We're not
But it's-
talking about the actual locations right now.
But
We're
we
just
will
talking
have
about high
we
level.
will have servers in all of these countries and locations, so people will
can
have the
choose.
best possible ping.
All right, we've checked out the highlights from the live stream itself, but let's go ahead and take a look at what was said about the update for the release date and the beta for Dune Awakening.
As we mentioned earlier today, beta weekend coming up that a lot of players will be able to enjoy and test the combat in Dune Awakening themselves. You will be able to stream, you'll be able to show videos and things from that beta weekend. Sometime next month, more concrete information regarding that will of course come soon from our side. You might have heard about the fact that we have been moving the release date of Dune Awakening 3 weeks back to the 10th of June with a head start starting on the 5th of June, which is not cause for any concern. It's really just because we want to add some more polish to some of the things in the game, and it gives that opportunity. Additionally, we also will have the opportunity to do a large-scale beta. So many of you will have the chance to actually try out the game for themselves. That won't be under an NDA, so we will be able to show, you'll be able to stream, you'll be able to do videos and all that good stuff.
And there you have it. Those were the highlights for the live dev stream that stood out the most to me personally. This was the second live dev stream that we've had for Dune Awakening, and each one has given so much information, which I'm excited for. It just makes me more amped and ready for the game to release. I know that it sucks that they've had to push back the release date. However, I do fully understand it. I would much rather a company recognize that their game still needs a little bit of work, a little bit of polishing to make sure it's ready for release, than just to release it knowing that it may not be the best quality that it can be for them, and then we're all stuck having to deal with all the issues, and then they'll patch it later. I fully appreciate and respect them taking the time necessary to make the release as smooth and polished as they possibly can. So I get it. I'm gonna be patient. We can make it. It's only a few weeks. I definitely want to give a special shout out to the Guardian 1970 for being a member of the Chaos Crew. You are absolutely amazing. I do have a link in the top right to more of my Dune Awakening videos. If you want to check those out, remember to like and subscribe so you do not miss any more Dune Awakening content to come. And y'all are absolutely amazing.